Hello BookTube, and this video is an announcement for a small project I'm going to be running over the coming weeks, and that project concerns reading two books and then comparing them. The first is by Winifred Foley, which I have always known under its original title, A Child in the Forest, which is now being sold under the title of Full Hearts and Empty Bellies. And the other is, which, and I should say this probably may not be very well known on BookTube. However, the other book I'm going to be reading and comparing it and doing a comparing contrast with Winifred Foley's book is a book that is more certainly well known on BookTube, or at least among British booktubers, is Cider with Rosie by Laurie Lee. And the reason why I'm rereading them is, one, because I enjoy both books and I have a particular fondness for family reasons for Winifred Foley's book, but also they're interesting to read and compare and contrast to each other, given that Winifred Foley and Laurie Lee were born within a month of each other in the summer of 1914, and both books cover their childhoods and are therefore covering the same time period. But the contrast is that Laurie Lee grew up in eastern Gloucestershire, and both of them grew up in a rural area, but Laurie Lee's childhood, the area where Laurie Lee grew up was very rural, represented by farms, whereas Winifred Foley grew up in western Gloucestershire in the Forest of Dean in a mining community. And so you've got both rural and industrial area there. And then there's a contrast between sort of family life, where Laurie Lee was largely brought up by his mother because his father was not there when he was born, and or he left in his early childhood. Whereas Winifred Foley's parents were both there, and in fact her father was a leader of the miners during the general strike in 1926. And so it's going to be interesting to compare the two in sort of what they're covering at the same time period from slightly different angles in the same county, which is quite unusual. And so it's going to be interesting to reread them both, seeing the sort of differences between the two of their experiences, and also just enjoying rereading these two books because they are really enjoyable. I should say that if anybody wants to do a read along with me, you're more than welcome. Especially when I do the compare and contrast, because I'm going to do that on the live stream. And if you want to come on that with me, you're more than welcome. If you do want to do that, you can either leave a comment in the down below, or my email is in the description. You can send me an email. So either way, if you want to take part, just let me know. And so with that, BookTube, I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you later. Bye, BookTube.